Russ Radke would like to open up with a win tonight against the East Central Trojans, a team that's been a thorn in his side for the past several seasons. Radke enters his 5th year as the coach of the Connersville Spartans. Justin Smith has got it teed up, and the Trojan return team is ready. End over end kick taken about the 20-yard line by Story, and Story's going to bring it up to about the 25, maybe across that to the 27-yard line, and that is where he is going to start. 1st and 10. The East Central Trojans will have the ball with 11:55 to play in this opening quarter.
And a good play that time originally by Connersville. They were able to get out there and swarm the defender on that far sideline that time and be able to pick off the run and keep him to a 5-yard start. So not a bad start for Connersville.
Shemmer, the quarterback, Hansel, the tailback. Roop is the fullback. As they come in the I formation with receivers split wide, right and left. Shemmer looks over the Connersville defense. Sends Story in motion to the left side. And we've got a flag on the play. Connersville, wanting to crowd the football, may have picked up the first penalty of the night. We'll see what the assessment's going to be. And Connersville, though, indicating illegal procedure against East Central. So the penalty is going to go against the Trojans, and that will cost them 5 before the first snap and bring up 1st and 15.
And you wonder that time if Connersville shifting around, they did a lot of shifting that time, if it might have made one of the East Central players nervous on the offense and maybe moved a little too early.
Ball will be placed at the Trojan 21-yard line, where they start now 1st and 15 out of the I formation. Hansel the tailback, Roop is the fullback, and receivers again split wide, right and left. Kickler wide on the left side, Story wide on the right side. Now a back split in the backfield, and Shimmer's back to pass. He's looking down the sidelines, and Hal Kelly bats it away, intended for Kickler. Mike Kickler starting as the split end, and he has that batted away, so it'll bring up 2nd and 15.
And not a bad play that time by Hal Kelly. He had great coverage that time on Kickler. Not a very wise pass. He just tried to lob it in there that time, but beautiful play there by Kelly. He just batted it down and a complete pass.
Out of the I formation, the Trojans 2nd and 15 from their 21-yard line. Slot right. Here comes Maxwell in motion. Hand off to the fullback. A little bit of penetration across to the 25-yard line and a pickup of about 5, maybe 6 yards. They may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it, just on the other side of the 25-yard line, bringing up 3rd and a long 10. So about a 4-yard pickup there for the fullback, Roop.
Had good penetration that time by the East Central line, getting into the Connersville defensive line that time and allowing that play to go in.
They'll bring up 3rd, and they'll call it 11. The ball just resting on the 25-yard line of East Central. So the Connersville defense trying to hold their own on this first series against the Trojans. East Central again to the I formation. Connersville calling a timeout. Spartans did not like what they saw. And Coach Russ Radke rips the headsets off his head. And he'll come out on the field, and I don't know whether he wanted them to burn that timeout this early or not, Tom, but he is not quite pleased with what has happened here, at least on this particular series.
And also, it looked like there's a referee who had a flag. I don't know if he's going to pick it up. It looks like he's going to call something. I'm not sure what's going on, but he did drop a flag.
Well, they're just a comment. You've got to be careful with about every aspect right here. Out of the I formation, again, receiver split wide, right and left. Shimmer looks over the Connersville defense. Long count. Back to pass. Protection. Now he's chased out of the pocket. He loses the football, and the Spartans have it. Big fumble recovery there for CHS, and coming out of the stack with the football was Orlin Foster with the fumble recovery deep in East Central territory. Ball spotted at the Trojan 11-yard line, where Connersville has it 1st and 10. So Orlin Foster comes up with a fumble recovery.
And that time, 2 players came right through that East Central defense, and Foster was one of them, and he just stripped him of the football that time as he was trying. That time, I think he should have went down that time and taken the sack. Instead, he tried to get away, loses the football, and nobody around there but red shirts.
Ryan Lynch with the wishbone gives it over to Trent Smith, and Trent Smith finds plenty of running room over the right side as he crosses the 10-yard line and gets close to the 5. And Trent Smith on his first carry picks up some nice yardage.
Good hole opened up that time by the offensive line of Connersville, allowed Smith to go through. They just dashed through that left side and got good yardage that time, and they're close. Let's see if we can put them in for the touchdown.
Now Ryan Lynch will quarterback. In the backfield along with him will be Mike Driggs, Dustin Flum, and Trent Smith. Kyle Smith is at one end, and here's the handoff again to Trent Smith, this time trying the left side across the 5 and down to about the 2-yard line, where it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
And that time it looked like there was some open room. I thought he might have been able to get in that time, but that hole just closed up real quickly after a 3-yard gain.
They'll bring up 3rd and 1, so a 4-yard pickup there for Smith. He's carried the ball twice for 9 yards. And Connersville now 3rd and inches at about the Trojan 2-yard line. They do have a possibility of making a first down without scoring, but the Spartans would rather put the ball in the end zone. Here's Lynch on the quarterback sneak, and he is going to be stacked up before he gets to the end zone, but let's see if he made any progress. He'll have to unpile everybody and bring up a 4th down. And it doesn't look like he got anything. We've got the officials. I believe they're going to bring the chains across for a measurement. And they want to see whether Connersville has made that first down or not. It's going to be close. Didn't have to get much yardage to convert on a first down and set up a 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line, but I really don't think Lynch got enough yardage for that first down because he's pretty well stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, let's see what happens, of course, if they have 4 down.
He got it. He got it. All right. Well, just enough yardage. We'll give him credit for a yard. Well, the Spartans convert on 3rd down.
All he's got to do now is just break the planes. He's got 4 chances to do it, and if they don't lose control of the ball, all Connersville's got to do is move that line back a little bit, and they got it.
Jamie Irvin, the center. It's 1st and goal for Connersville at the Trojan 1-yard line. Lynch will hand off to Trent Smith. It's a touchdown. Spartans get on the scoreboard first on a 1-yard run by Trent Smith with 8:33 to play here in the first quarter, and we'll be awaiting now the extra point attempt for the Connersville Spartans. But a big touchdown on a turnover that gives Connersville excellent field position at the 11-yard line, and they 4 plays, 11 yards. It's a touchdown for CHS, and now Kyle Smith will try to tack on the extra point. Trent Smith, who just scored, will be holding the football for Kyle.
That time, just a great run by Trent Smith, just pulled his way right in the end zone, almost untouched.
The snap, the hold, the kick. It's good. 8:33 to play in the first quarter from Spartan Field on FM 100 WCNB. Connersville leads East Central 7-0.
When it comes to pizza delivery, there are the rookies and there are the pros. The pros have training and experience. The rookies, well, they're working on it. The pros are dominant later, so why risk your dinner with a Johnny-come-lately? Call Domino's Pizza. You know we'll be there in 30 minutes or less. So who are you going to call? The rookies or the pros?
Domino's Pizza, oh yeah. It's time for Domino's Pizza.
Limited delivery areas ensure safe driving.
The kickoff by Justin Smith. It's going to be taken at about the 20-yard line, and a bit of a reverse now run by the Trojans, but Story, after faking to 2 teammates, will keep the football and return it back to about the 24-yard line. So the Trojans will take it 1st and 10 at their 24 after about a 4-yard pickup.
I don't know what that little piece of razzle-dazzle was trying to do that time, but it really didn't fool anybody because 2 Connersville Spartans got over there and gave them a good pop after about, 6 or 7-yard return.
8:26 to play first quarter. Connersville on top of the Trojans, 7-0, and defense back out of the field, hoping to prevent East Central from gaining much yardage whatsoever, as the Trojans have picked up only 4 yards in 3 plays. Their first drive resulted in a fumble. Now work it out of the I formation. This time the backs will split behind Shimmer. Sends Story in motion, comes over to the left side. They'll run towards the right side. They hand it off to the fullback, Roop, and Roop will take it across the 25 and pick up some short yardage and bring up 2nd down.
Not much that time. Just Roop tried to go over to the right side of the Connersville line, and they were just waiting for him there. Good stifling play that time by the Connersville defense to keep them to a short gain.
Pickup of 4 for Roop brings up 2nd and 6. Ball around the 28-yard line of East Central. Trojans again will line up in the I. As Shimmer checks out the Connersville defense. Sends Maxwell in motion to the left side. Quick pitch back to the tailback. And, flag on the play, and a nice hit there by Connersville as Lukine comes in on the tackle, but we do have a flag there as Lukine made a nice hit on the tailback.
What a play by Jason Lukine that time. He just broke through the line untouched, got in the backfield almost before he got there. He's just there to meet him, and it might be a holding call. Looks like it's in the area where they might be having a holding call on East Central.
7:18 to play here in this first quarter. Harper will come out of the football game, and they'll send in starting tailback B.J. Hansel.
Connersville looking good so far through about the first few minutes of this football game. They look real good.
Now, let's see what the penalty's going to be all about. Talking things over to the Connersville defense. The illegal procedure call will be declined, and Harper is going to lose about 6 yards and bring up 3rd and 11.
This time another passing down coming up for East Central. Let's see if they try to go for the pass again or if they try to do as you said earlier and try to maybe fake Connersville out with a draw.
Now they send Kickler wide to the left side, Story wide to the right side, split the tight end now over wide to the left side as well. And they are in the run and shoot, and here's Shimmer with rifling a pass to his tight end, and good coverage there by Connersville. As making the stop, we had Justin Smith and also Jason Maxwell, both making the stop there on that. And that pass play will just net a few yards and bring up 4th down.
There was a flag on the play, though. We'll have to find out what the flag was all about. Good play there by...
Pass interference against Connersville they're going to call.
And that's strange, though, because because the flag came from the opposite end of the field to where the pass was coming from.
And that will result in a 1st down for the East Central Trojans as they tack 15 yards against Connersville. And the pass interference gives the Trojans a 1st down at their 38-yard line.
Too bad, too, to get a play like that wiped out because it was a great stop by the Connersville defense.
1st and 10 now for the Trojans at their 38-yard line. Again, out of the I formation. Now they shift into the run and shoot. They spread things out, and Shimmer's back to pass once again. He's got some time, goes to the sideline. Maxwell makes the catch. Did he stay in bounds? Pass is complete. Good for a bounce.
I don't think
they're not going to say he was out of bounds. Okay, that's right. I thought he was real close to the sideline, so incomplete pass.
That pass was all the way on the other side, so you can't. So it wasn't real good to see whether the feet were in or out.
Maxwell tried his best to try to stay in bound, but apparently wasn't able to do the job. So 2nd and 10 now for the Trojans as they work it from their 38-yard line. Shimmer on the draw. And big hole opens up for Roop, and he's got a 1st down. He's into Connersville territory, and Justin Smith makes the tackle and prevents Roop from going any farther as he gets down to about the Connersville 36-yard line.
Again, it's what you were talking about, their deception. They weren't expecting for the run to come. They came right up the middle that time with Roop, right up the center of the field, broke into the Connersville secondary, and finally was dragged down after a big, big gain.
A 26-yard run there for Roops. He's carried the ball 3 times now for 34 yards, and it's 1st and 10 at the Connersville 36-yard line. The Trojans trailing 7-0, making some noise here late in the first quarter. Shimmer again checking over the defense. Back to pass, looks now left, going deep and incomplete. And now we're going to have a flag for a late hit called against Ryan Lynch. And that is going to give the Trojans another 1st down because of a penalty. The pass was incomplete over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver, Mike Kickler. And at the end of the play, Lynch gave him a nice little hit there, and the flag came right out.
Just a little love tap there that time, but it's too bad because that time the two Connersville defenders were beaten that time on the pass. The ball was just overthrown, and so not a very good play there because they had an incompleted pass. Instead, now you got a 15-yard penalty.
And that will give the Trojans yet another first down. They picked up a couple of first downs now on two 15-yard penalties, plus that 26-yard run by Roop. Well, 1st and 10 for the Trojans, and they're now inside the 25-yard line. Ball spotted at about the 21. So they picked up some yardage on this drive, thanks to a couple of penalties and a 26-yard run. A couple of 15-yard penalties. Well, 1st and 10 from the Spartan 21. Shimmer back to pass again, looks over the middle, falls incomplete. His intended receiver that time out of the backfield was B.J. Hansel. That pass falls incomplete.
And the last couple of times, the East Central line has been giving Shimmer good protection that time. That time he had a lot of time to throw, tried to hit a target over the middle that time. It was just, looked like it was underthrown and just dropped by the receiver. Good coverage that time by Connersville.
5:47 to play first quarter. Connersville leading the Trojans 7-0. East Central at the Spartan 21-yard line. 2nd and 10. Now Roop, the lone back, as Shimmer's back to pass again. And this time, intended receiver drops the football at around the Connersville 10-yard line. Now the Connersville pass defense being tested here in this first quarter. So far, doing a pretty good job of it, as dropping that particular pass was Rod Getz, a 6'4" sophomore.
That time, just two players around the receiver, and he knew he was going to get hit as soon as he caught the ball. And that time, he probably took his eyes off the ball and put them on the defenders, and that caused him to drop the ball.
Hansel comes out. Harper comes in. Out of the I formation, 3rd and 10 from the Connersville 21-yard line. Defense doing a pretty good job right now. There's another draw play to Harper, and he tried to go up the middle and didn't get much. Maybe to the 20. He may have picked up a yard.
That time they tried to go to the well one more time, and that time it just didn't work. About 5 or 6 Connersville Spartans were waiting for him there on that one like a red tide, and just took him down that time after about a yard gain.
Now that'll bring up 4th and 9, and we've got the Trojans calling a timeout with 5:22 to play. He now is going to call his own timeout. Boy, the wheels are spinning early in this game. Do you think these coaches want to pick up a victory first game of the season? Oh, that's 2 time for the Trojans at the Connersville 20-yard line. Trojans come up to the line of scrimmage. Shimmer still looking to complete a pass. 0 for 4 here in the first quarter. Hansel, the tailback. Roop, the fullback. And their starting lineup in there. The big guys are over on the right side. And Schwimmer, some protection, but he underthrows his intended receiver. Threw it behind his receiver, who was open near the goal line. Schwimmer had some time there, but just could not make the connection, so Connersville holds on downs and gets it at the Spartan 20.
Well, that time the receiver came back for the football. Looked like his little hook play along the sideline. At that time, I think Schwimmer thought he was coming back a little bit more than he did, and just, like you said, threw it behind the player, and it's 1st and 10 for Connersville, and they hold.
Well, Kickler, the intended receiver, unable to come up with that reception, so Ryan Lynch will lead his team back out of the field. Driggs at fullback. Flum and Smith in the backfield, and Trent Smith picks up some nice yardage, nearly a first down as he gets close to the 30-yard line, and a nice hard run there by Trent Smith.
Oh, man, what a hole opened up that time by the Connersville offensive line. Trent Smith just stepped into that hole. He was at open field and was able to get some good yardage into the East Central secondary that time. Trent Smith, a good open field runner, and it's helping Connersville right now to just march on the East Central Trojans.
A gain of 9 for Trent Smith will bring up 2nd and 1 for the Spartans. Jamie Irvin in center. And Connersville now in the power I. As Lynch will hand off to the fullback, and Mike Driggs will get the first down. He is across the 30, and he should have a first down for Connersville. They needed 1 yard, and that looks like what Driggs got them.
And it was a good play that time by Driggs. He just gave it to the first man through, just a straight power move right over center that time. They exploded just enough. He was able to dive over and pick up the yard that they needed, and Connersville continues to drive.
Let's look at the Connersville offensive line. Jamie Irvin, a 6'1" senior at center at 205 pounds. Darrell Moorhead at one guard. Chad Likens, the other guard. David Moffitt is a tackle. And the other tackle for the Connersville Spartans, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit as Connersville puts the ball back on the ground, and Ryan Lynch on the option is off to the races. He's got one man to beat, and he could go all the way on a 69-yard touchdown run.
Oh, man, he did it again, ladies and gentlemen. Twice last week in the Jamboree, and he's got it going tonight in the first quarter against East Central. The man is amazing for that quarterback spot. You get him around that end, and boy, he's got great speed. 69 yards for the touchdown by Lynch, and it's 13-0 Connersville with the extra point upcoming.
Well, they took them 3 plays that time to score. Let's check the field. I don't see any yellow flags down there. So 3 plays for Connersville. It totals 80 yards, and the big one, a 69-yard run by Ryan Lynch for a touchdown. So the Spartans have scored on runs of 1 and 69 yards here in this first quarter with 4:01 left to play in the period. Now we'll go for 2 points, and a flag flies on the 2-point conversion try.
Boy, you look at Lynch. I mean, he's just got that great game-breaking speed from the quarterback spot. He gets the ball outside, and boy, he just give him a little bit of a block, and boy, he's dynamite in the open field.
The other tackle for Connersville, Jason Luking. So that's the offensive line. They're doing a good job here in this first quarter. I want to acknowledge those guys and give them an opportunity. Also, the tight end that started the game for Connersville was Justin Faw. We've also seen Fred James in there playing at tight end as well. You know, the official's going to sift through this penalty on the 2-point conversion try. 4:01 left to play first quarter. And Trojans are going to take the penalty. It's going to be assessed against Connersville. I believe we had too many guys on the field. And so that's going to be a 15-yarder. Ball is going to be spotted back now at about the 18-yard of CHS.
50 yards of penalties so far against Connersville, and it's not even through at the first quarter.
And again, lined up for that 2-point conversion.
And this is going to be work if they can get it in here from the 18.
Well, Lynch got it in from 69 yards out. And there's the handoff to Trent Smith, and Smith will not make enough yardage to get the 2-point conversion. So with 4:01 left to play here in the first quarter from Spartan Field on FM 100 WCNB, Connersville leads East Central 13-zip.
At Connersville Heating.
They've had to replace just about their entire backfield, so they've got some inexperience at the skill positions. Smith's kick, and again, Story will fake a couple of plays and then hand it off, and this one goes nowhere as the Trojans will take it 1st and 10, and the ball will be spotted about their 21-yard line.
Second time they tried that reverse play, and again, it fooled absolutely no one because there's about 5 Connersville players there waiting for the ball carrier as they came around in, and that time they might have lost yardage on that return.
Good pursuit there by the return team for CHS. So Connersville special teams are playing quite well. Defense looking good, and the offense has clicked so far. They've had the ball twice, and they've scored twice. Now, Mike Kickler splits wide to the left side for the Trojans. Story splits wide to the right side out of the I formation with Hansel at tailback and Roop at fullback. Shimmer checks the defense. Will hand it to the fullback, and he is hit immediately. Olin Foster will wrap him up at the line of scrimmage. Roop may have picked up a yard just by his momentum.
Good play that time by Connersville. The defensive line just waiting on the ball carrier as they came through that time. Olin Foster just stood up the ball carrier and just made him go absolutely nowhere.
So far, good game there for Foster. Recovered a fumble at the Trojan 11-yard line. That's led to Connersville's first touchdown. And now he wraps up Roop and holds him just a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Trojans at about their 22-yard line. And they trail by 13 points here in the first quarter with time winding down in the first period. Backs are split behind Schwimmer. He'll hand off this time to his tailback, and Hansel tries to find some yardage over the left side, picks up a little bit. He'll gain about 3 and bring up 3rd and 6.
And a good play that time by B.J. Hansel. He just found a little bit of a hole that closed pretty quickly there as Connersville was able to get on him that time and keep him to a short gain. But just a great performance tonight by Connersville, both offensively and defensively. They're both playing very well right now.
And this is just the first quarter with 2:21 left to play in this period. Well, 3rd, about 7 now for the Trojans. So again, another situation where they may have to put the ball in the air. 0 for 5 so far in the air. Schwimmer back to pass. Foster has him wrapped up. He slips out of his grasp, but he is taken down by Kevin Miller, who gets the quarterback sack back at about the 16-yard line, and that'll be a loss of about 5 yards.
Safety blitz that time by Connersville. Miller coming right through the middle that time. Foster, he got away from Foster that time, but Miller was just waiting to wrap him up. Good teamwork there by Connersville, and boy, all the Pistons are firing right now. That jamboree gave them a lot of confidence this week.
We will see our first punt of the night. Kickler back in punt formation, and Dustin Flum, the wild man, is back there to return it. Punt goes to the far side of the field, and it will take a Trojan roll down to the Connersville 46-yard line, so the Spartans will start off in some pretty good field position at their own 46, and it'll be 1st and 10 for CHS once again.
That time the punt, good punt that time by the Trojan punter that time, and the intended receiver that time just let it bounce. He was over to the left of him, it looked like, and that time he just let it bounce and didn't pick it up. And a good thing, too, because he had about 2 East Central defenders right in his face.
Hey, that's one of the few times that Dustin Flum will not pick up the football. As Coach Radke said in the pregame show, Dustin's playing Canadian rules football. He's going to take it if he's surrounded. Connersville leading 13-0. Third time the Spartans now have touched the football. 1st and 10 at the CHS 46. Lynch is back to pass. Flag flies. Lynch is going to run with it. He's got some running room. He picks up about 8 yards. We got a flag on the Connersville backfield that's going to go against CHS.
And it nullified a good run that time. Lynch, he just got outside that time and got into some open field and took it around one defender, but that time couldn't get past the second one that time. Well, let's see what the flag's going to be.
Well, it's going to wipe out about an 8-yard gain there for Lynch. And this one's going to be walked off against Connersville. And the motion penalty goes against CHS, costs them 5 yards, brings up 1st and 15 from the 41-yard line of Connersville.
55 yards of penalties right now against Connersville High School in the first quarter. It's one thing they're going to have to work on.
For the Connersville Spartans, Justin Foss splits wide to the right side. Smith in tight on the left side as Kevin Miller in the backfield. There's the draw to, well, Lynch faked the draw to Trent Smith, kept the football, and he got smothered back at about his own 33-yard line.
That time it looked like that play went awry that time. I think what happened was that Lynch was trying to hand it off to the fullback that time. The fullback didn't take it. He showed the football too far out that time and just held it, and by that time, 3 different East Central Trojans were on him, and he could go nowhere but to the ground.
That was a loss of 8 for Lynch. Brings his yardage down to 62 yards on 3 carries. And also brings up a second at about a 24 for CHS as the first quarter comes.
And looks like they're sitting back up at the wishbone offense one more time as we get ready to start the second quarter with JW.
All right, so Connersville stepping up to the line of scrimmage. We will be talking to the new head baseball coach for CHS at halftime. Tom Gable will be our special guest, and we'll be talking about him and his predictions for baseball. There's Ryan Lynch on the option, and he's made up that 24 yards and then some. A first down for Connersville as Lynch crosses midfield and gets into Trojan territory down to the East Central 44-yard line and picks up 25 yards and up for the first down.
And that time, what a play by Ryan Lynch. Boy, when he just gets outside, he is just hard to beat. He's got incredible speed outside. He's able to go in that time on the option play. He just kept it and went right around the end and scooted off for 25 yards and a first down. What passing?
4 carries and 87 yards for Ryan Lynch, and that kid is quick. Once he gets into the open field, not too many people are going to bring him down unless you're Carl Lewis or somebody like that.
You might have to make one of those 28-foot high jumps to get him. Long jump.
There's the handoff to Driggs. Driggs going to get stacked up at the line of scrimmage. That one didn't go really anywhere.
That time they tried to run between the tackles that time, and East Central was just ready for him that time. And I believe Carl Lewis was a long jumper, not a high jumper.
Yeah, and also has the world record in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah. Not a bad double.
So Mike Powell went just a little bit farther than anybody else has ever done in the long jump. That was unbelievable in Tokyo yesterday. 29 feet and 4 inches. Here we've got 2nd and 10 for Connersville at the 44 of East Central. And again, they go to the fullback. The ball squirts loose. East Central indicating they have recovered the fumble. I think they've got to unpile some people here before we determine who has gotten possession of the ball, because still a couple of Spartans and one Trojan all have their paws clutched around that football, but indications are Connersville maintained possession. Kevin Miller ended up with the football and about a 1-yard gain for CHS.
And that time, not a very, very well-run run that time. It just very sloppily from the start that time. And in that kind of a situation, you're going to get a lot more fumbles, and that basically was what happened. It was just right up on the line. A lot of Connersville players were there in the area.
3rd and 9 for CHS at the 43-yard line of East Central. Scott Crank in there to quarterback. The draw to Trent Smith, and he's got the first down. Trent Smith continues on his way to about the 24-yard line and picks up about 19 yards.
That time, a great run that time by Trent Smith. Just a draw play that time, a delayed draw play from Lynch to Trent Smith that time. And he just ran it right up the middle of the field, went right through the good hole by the Connersville offense and picked up the 19-yard gain.
Well, that'll bring up 1st and 10 for CHS as they are now at about the 25-yard line of the East Central Trojans. Crank in at quarterback, and he'll hand off to Driggs. And the fullback will take it down for about a 3, maybe a 4-yard gain. We'll see where they spot the football near the 20. Well, actually, the ball across the 20, so about a 5-yard pickup there for Mike Driggs.
And that basically is what the fullback is supposed to do. Driggs that time just plowing into the line, plunging forward for 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and Connersville picks up some good yardage on first down, and they're just marching up the field once again.
And this has been a time-consuming drive for CHS. Crank continues to quarterback. He's called the last 3 plays for Connersville. Again to Driggs right up the middle, and Driggs will fight his way down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line and bring up 3rd and short.
That time Driggs just goes right up the middle once again on the quick opener. He just slips through the hole that time, and the East Central linebackers get on him, but once again, he gains enough yardage to put Connersville in a pretty good situation, 3rd and short.
It'll be 3rd and 1 after a 4-yard gain there for Driggs. Now, this unit doing pretty good right now, as Crank has come in to spell Ryan Lynch. Dustin Flum, Trent Smith, and Mike Driggs all in the backfield. Crank will go to Trent Smith. Trent tries to turn the corner and will not get the first down. He is going to be stopped just shy of the first down. Probably no gain whatsoever on that one. They'll bring up 4th down.
That time, he's trying to turn the corner. They ran a sweep that time. He tried to turn the corner, but an East Central player just got a handful of shirt and dragged him right down to the ground that time. So he's going to have a little bit of an extended shirt and bring up a 4th down.
Now, we've got a 4th down situation. The question is, 4th and 1. Barely no question about it. Quick huddle, and Connersville is going for it at the East Central, about the 17-yard line.
The way they've been running right now, good choice.
Trent Smith will dive over the middle, and he may have gotten enough yardage to get that first down as he dove over now the left side of center. And we may call for him. Well, it's going to be a first down. A couple of yards there for Trent Smith, and this drive continues. 7:37 left to play in the first half. And the Spartans have themselves yet another first down.
That time, just a good run over the middle. That time, he just ran it right over his left tackle, dove forward, and bowled his way to the first down.
Now, it's 9 plays now for Connersville on this drive that began at their 46-yard line and then saw them lose about 14 yards due to penalties and a quarterback sack. But boy, now they're 1st and 10 at about the 14-yard line of East Central, and we've got a timeout called by Connersville. So, you know, you got a 13-0 lead here in the first half, and you really want to prevent injuries as well. So Crank's doing a pretty good job as he's taking this team down to the 14-yard line. Of course, Lynch helped him get to that yardage with another big run. Now, 1st and 10 for CHS at the Trojan 14-yard line. Here's Crank on the option. He'll keep the football, and he'll pick up a couple of yards.
That time, Crank just goes right over the line. He got upended there as he came over and just had to dive forward and picked up 2 yards basically just by forward motion. But a good play that time by East Central, stuffing it back, and he just ran right down the line, trying to find a good hole to open up into. That time he just decided to try to make his own hole and picked up 2 yards.
Only 6:49 left to play here in the first half. Connersville's had the ball during this entire second quarter, so this has been this has been a coach's dream, a nice time-consuming drive, and the dream will come true if it results in 6 more points for CHS. Driggs, the fullback, bullies his way down near the 10-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down for Connersville.
And a good run again by Driggs, the fullback, just plowing his way through the East Central line that time to pick up 3 or 4 tough yards. And when you're trying to run like that, you're trying to get enough momentum to make it hard to come down, and that looks like what Driggs is doing right now is making it hard for the East Central Trojans to bring him down. About 2 or 3 people in on that tackle.
And Lynch now is back into quarterback as Crank has come over the sidelines after a 3-yard pickup for Driggs, brings up 3rd and 5 for Connersville at the Trojan 9-yard line. Lynch will hand off to Trent Smith. Smith's got a nice little hole, and he is in the end zone for the 2nd time tonight on a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Spartans have 6 more points on the scoreboard.
What a play that time by Trent Smith. He just has the kind of scoring ability, I guess you could call it, to be able to take the ball right through the line, get past a couple of blocks, make people miss tackles, and just move it right up the center and right into the end zone.
Now that score, 12 plays, 54 yards, and a TD for Trent Smith, his 2nd score of the night with 5:53 to play here in this second quarter. The Spartans go for 2, and they've got it. And Trent Smith converts on the 2-point try, and Connersville now with a 9. Let's see, the scoreboard is not correct. It's 21. Should be 21. I looked at the scoreboard. They had 29. Another 25 yards when Connersville was looking at a 2nd and 24. And he picked up 25 yards to give Connersville a first down to keep the drive going. That resulted in the 9-yard touchdown run by Trent Smith. So the Spartans lead at 21-0 over the Trojans, and Smith will kick off. Trojans on the return. No razzle-dazzle here, just straight up the middle. And it results in a return up to about the 29-yard line of East Central.
They just kept it simple that time, and they got some good yardage that time, about a 10, 11, 12-yard return of kick that time just by bringing it straight up the field. Good blocking by East Central. Connersville got over there and made the tackle.
Well, these guys got to be pumped here in the first half. The Spartans have a 21-0 lead, and now they'd like to go into the halftime locker room with a shutout intact. But the Trojans, they've been a little bit mystified right here tonight, and they want to get some points on the scoreboard.
And the inexperience is showing in their backfield right now.
Shimmer at quarterback. This time he'll spread his backs, and he's going into the air. And the ball ricochets off 2 would-be receivers, first off of Hansel and then off of Story, and falls incomplete.
And that time also a good play by Connersville. The Connersville defender that time thought he had a shot at that for the interception. The ball was tipped up in the air, and he was near it, but he was a little bit too far away to make that interception. But, boy, if that would have been closer, he'd have been gone for 6 more.
Well, for East Central, their first drive, 3 plays and a fumble that was recovered by Connersville at the Trojan 11-yard line. A second drive that went 7 plays, that stymied at the Connersville 20-yard line. And their last series, it was 4 plays and a punt. The Trojans try to run around the right side, but do not get any positive results out of that as Harper carries the football and loses 2 yards.
And guess who was there on the tackle one more time? Orland Foster, number 63. He was right there to wrap his big old arms around the small barrier for East Central that time. And right now, the inexperience in their backfield is showing right now because they're just not getting anything started.
It's 3rd and long now for the Trojans. Shimmer 0 for 6 in the air. A lot of shifting going around the East Central line. Strong side over on the left side. Again in the air to Maxwell, the tight end. The first pass completed of the night. Good open field tackle there by CHS, and making the tackle was Jason Maxwell on Randy Maxwell of East Central.
And a good catch-up time by Maxwell. First completed pass for East Central of the evening. A good pass that time by Shimmer. He just got it out there, got it right to Maxwell. He was wide open, got a couple of yards after the play, and good close by the Connersville defensive backs there.
And that was a pickup of about 10 yards, and that's going to leave them. Well, they're going to bring the chains across. I thought they were going to measure this, and East Central is getting ready to snap the football. But the chains are being brought across the field, and we've got a measurement here. Our second measurement of the night. Connersville successful on one measurement. This one, though, I think is going to come up short. And they'll bring up third down. They still need about a yard or less to keep this drive going.
And this will find out how good the Connersville defensive line is going to be, being able to stop a very, very short 3rd and inches play this time. Let's see if they can stuff them back in the hole and bring up that 4th down.
Excuse me, it is 4th down.
Okay, it is 4th down. So
I was looking at the down marker, and they still had a number 3 there. But
yeah.
Scoreboard's got 4th and 1.
Well, let's see this time if they can just stuff them back and get possession again.
Now, they haven't changed the down marker there on the sideline, so this is going to be a little bit confusing. The scoreboard has 4th and 1, and the down marker has 3rd and 1. And nowhere. Ran into Jerry Maples, and Jerry Maples said, "You're not going anywhere."
Oh, man, what a crunching hit that time by Jerry Maples. He just got him right in his tracks that time and just stopped him right there. They're going to bring the chains in one more time for a measurement.
Well, apparently that got me a little bit confused, I guess. That had to be 3rd down. This will bring up 4th down if they don't make it here. Because that'd be awful dangerous for them to go in that situation like that with 3:58 left to go here in this first half, as explosive as Connersville has been in the first half.
Well, what a stop that time by Jerry Maples. Oh, man, he just hit a hard, crunching hit right with the shoulder right in the roof and just stopped him in his tracks.
It's going to bring up 4th down. Excuse me. That was 4th down. That was 4th down. Okay, they hadn't changed the down marker on the sideline. So the Spartans did hold, and the Trojans again come up empty on a gamble, and Connersville gets possession of the football at the Trojan 38-yard line, where it's now 1st and 10 for CHS. Connersville in 3 possessions just put 21 points on the scoreboard.
And Connersville coming back out again, and it looks like Bleep Litch is the quarterback.
And he'll hand off to Trent Smith, and Smith, not much room there as he gets down to about the 36-yard line. He did cough up the football, but I do believe the play was blown dead before he let the ball loose. He'll gain a yard on that carry. 9 carries for 50 yards for Trent Smith.
And that time he just went over the right side that time, and East Central just waiting for him there as he came over and just tried to bowl his way through the line and just couldn't make it that time. Good play by East Central stopping that run.
So Connersville, first possession, 4 plays, 11 yards and a touchdown. Second possession, 3 plays, 80 yards and a touchdown. Third possession, 12 plays, 54 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 9 for CHS. And number 60 gets his hands on the football. And I don't have it on my roster book.
Yeah, he made a play earlier. He was the one who had that interception that he thought he should have had there, but on defense a couple plays ago. But a good run that time down the field, and he just took it over that right side, scored it through, and made some good yardage.
I believe that's Ronan who switched jerseys there. So Brian Ronan on the run, and a first down for CHS on a nice run there by Ronan down to about the 23-yard line of East Central. So Ronan picks himself up about 13 yards, and he'll carry the football one more time.
And he just took it right up the middle that time, tried to go through, make a little dive play on that, and he dove forward and made probably about 2 or 3 yards.
Well, he's going to make maybe 4 on that one as he gets across the 20 down to about the 19-yard line. So Ronan on 2 carries, 17 yards.
And Connersville driving once again right down the field. They're inside the 20-yard line once again. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, that they have not been stalled out tonight inside their 20-yard line of East Central.
Well, Spartans have not been stalled anywhere. They've scored on each possession. And Lynch will call his number. Get knocked down at about the line of scrimmage.
That time Joe Weil on the tackle looked like that time he had Lynch's number. He just came busting through that time, and and stopped him before he turned up the field to make yardage. So good play that time by Weil. Good penetration by East Central.
That'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Trojan, rather for the Spartans at the Trojan 19-yard line. 21-0 Connersville. First half, Lynch going to be wrapped up for a loss. As he's brought down at about the Trojan 25-yard line, that's going to bring up 4th down, a loss of about 4.
That time, I couldn't quite see who it was. I think it might have been Todd Maddox that time on the tackle, number 78. Lynch has tried to come around that time again. He was running east and west and hadn't turned upfield, and the East Central team had got him back there. I think they've heard about Mr. Lynch and tried to stop him before he gets started.
Now it brings up 4th and 11 for Connersville with 1:26 to play here in the first half, and the Spartans will go for it at the 25-yard line of East Central. Now, ball actually spotted, and they call that the 24.
Go ahead.
Lynch back to pass. Going to be chased. Lets it loose. Ball complete, and we've got a penalty flag on the field.
Good pass that time by Lynch. He just tried to throw it down there to his intended receiver. It looked like he just lost contact of the ball that time and just dropped it.
Dustin Flum, I believe, was the intended receiver on that play. We do have a flag down there, and I think this penalty is going to be assessed against Connersville with 1:06 left to play here in the first half. Penalties have been the one sore spot for CHS. Illegal receiver downfield is going to be declined, and the Trojans will take it on down.
Well, that's the first time the Connersville's been stopped all night. Not too bad so far with 4 possessions to be able to score on 3 of them right now in the first half of play. But I don't believe East Central's got a lot of time right now to be able to make it in the end zone.
Now they got 1:06 left to play in this first half, and they've got it 1st and 10 at their 23-yard line, and Shimmer is 1 for 7 in the air for 10 yards. They've got to put the ball up. Roop, the lone back, and a little miscommunication for the East Central.
It looked like the Shimmer saw something he didn't like there, and he just took the time out to make sure that they knew what he was going to be running on the play.
Well, let's see what the Trojans will do on this particular series as they have it 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. Schwimmer back to pass. He's being chased. He's going to be nailed in the backfield.
And the first man there once again, you called it, Orland Foster, right in there causing that play. Set up the table for 2 more Connersville defenders. They got in there that time and sacked the quarterback, and Shemmer's just having a tough time of it tonight. I think he's been sacked about 3 or 4 times by the Connersville defense in the first half.
Now that's a big loss there for Shemmer on that particular play, and it's going to be a loss of 7 yards and bring down 2nd and 17 as the clock shows about 30 seconds still to play here in this first half, and Connersville leading it 21-0. Shimmer back to pass again. Now they try the draw play, and it doesn't go anywhere as Roop is knocked for about another 3-yard loss back to the 10-yard line.
Good penetration that time by Connersville. About 3 or 4 different Spartans got through that time, and just looked like Roop that time trying to go east and west after his hole was blocked up on the draw, and just didn't go anywhere and just fell under the sea of red.
All right, so that is going to be the end of the first half as the Connersville Spartans make it a rather successful first half as they are handling the East Central Trojans here at halftime on FM 100 WCND. Connersville leading the Trojans 21-0. Going in 3 or 4 possessions. It's going to be Justin Smith at about his 20, up to the 25, to the 30, up to the 35-yard line. Nice return there by Justin Smith, and the Connersville Spartans will start off in pretty good field position.
And good run back that time by Justin Smith. Picks the ball up, takes it 15 yards on the return. Good blocking that time by the Connersville line, and it looked like there that if you get a break in a couple of tackles that the Connersville defense, or the Connersville players that were blocking that time, was giving him a pretty good lane, but he just got tripped up.
Connersville 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at the Connersville 36-yard line. Ryan Lynch at quarterback. They'll come out in the actually a power I formation, and the handoff will go to Trent Smith, and Trent's got some running room and a first down for Connersville near midfield.
Good run that time by Trent Smith, the back man in the power I. He comes out that time and takes the ball and just powers it right through the line. And when you get the ball that deep in the backfield, if you're a good runner, you're able to see the defense break down in front of you, find out where the holes are, and pick them. And that's what happened that time with Smith.
Well, he picked up about 13 yards to the 49-yard line and brings up 1st and 10 for CHS now. 10 carries for 63 yards for Trent Smith. Again, the power I for Connersville. Handoff goes to the fullback, and a nice hole opens up for Driggs. And Driggs has another Connersville first down as he is inside Trojan territory down to the East Central 34-yard line.
And a good run again by Driggs that time. He was able to take the ball, just bullet through the line. A great big old gaping hole that time made by the Connersville offensive line in the East Central defense. And Driggs just took it and bowled that ball all the way down for a good yardage.
And he picks up about another 16 yards. And it's 1st and 10 to the 34-yard line. Lynch back to pass, and it's going to be picked off. The Trojans with the football. And they'll return it to their 35-yard line, and a flag after the interception. And making the theft for the East Central Trojans was Kevin Wersch.
That ball had to slip that time from the quarterback as Lynch tried to throw it that time because there was no intended receiver around the area that he threw the football, which makes me think that probably the football slipped when he threw it that time, and it just went straight to the East Central defender who returned it.
Now, the penalty was a hold against Connersville. That was declined. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their 35-yard line. So the Spartans put the ball up for the second time tonight. This one gets picked off.
Well, it wasn't too bad, though. Connersville took the ball and drove it right down the field, so they're basically doing the same thing here. It just happened that the ball got intercepted.
10:37 to play in the third quarter. The Trojans 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. Shimmer, the quarterback, will hand off to Harper, and Harper gets undercut after a couple of yards and bring up 2nd and long.
And a good play by Connersville that time. Harper that time had side-flipped a few of the Connersville defenders, but there were more right there. Looks like Connersville is really moving their defenders into position really well and taking advantage of the East Central relative inexperience right now and holding them to 2 or 3 yard gains.
2nd and 8 for the Trojans from their 37-yard line with just under 10 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Connersville holding on to a 21-0 lead over the East Central Trojans. East Central out of the I formation. Receivers split wide right and left. Shimmer looks over the defense and tries to go to the fullback, and there are red shirts all around Roop. And he is hogtied and brought down. They're going to spot him at about the line of scrimmage, and they'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And that time, Roop just tried to go through the line. His forward progress took him back to the line of scrimmage, but he hit about 1 or 2 Connersville defenders there and just bounced straight backward about 4 or 5 yards, and he just tried to take it outside. He's finally hog-tied and brought down by the Connersville defense. Good play.
3rd and 8 now. The Trojans facing a situation on their 37-yard line. And they're going to put it in the air. Good rush by Kevin Miller. And the pass falls incomplete. Kevin Miller nearly had the quarterback in the grasp.
Well, that time just trying to roll right to avoid 2 or 3 different Connersville tacklers who were coming into the backfield that time. He tried to throw it, but just as he threw it, Kevin Miller got him, and it just went to the ground very harmlessly. So East Central once again gives it up to Connersville. They're going to have to punt it away, and Connersville's got a chance to pad that lead again.
Just the second punt of the night that East Central has gotten underway here with Flum ready to return Kickler's punt. And this one is blocked. And Connersville will have it inside Trojan territory.
And a good block that time by Connersville. 2 different defenders getting in that time, and one of them just putting his hands up and blocking that ball. And a good recovery by Connersville there, bringing it up about 2 or 3 yards. I couldn't tell who recovered the ball there.
Justin Faw did, as Kevin Miller blocked the punt, and Justin Faw came up with a loose ball, and Justin picked it up in a little bit of traffic, wanted to see just how much yardage he could pick up, and Connersville now has it 1st and 10 at the Trojan 38-yard line.
And that was a dangerous play that time by Faw because he could have fumbled that time and brought it back, but he held on to it, and Connersville gets it again.
Now Connersville 1st and 10 at the Trojan 38. Here is Trent Smith finding another hole and quite possibly close to another first down. And Dustin Flum down on the play. And we've got an injured player. And we also have a Spartan that's playing without a helmet.
I thought that I was looking. I thought there might have been a flag on the play, but I guess that was just one of the helmets.
That was just the helmet shield that goes inside there. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But let's hope that Dustin Flum is only shaken up and not seriously injured as Trent Smith picks up 2nd and 1 for Connersville at the Trojan 29-yard line. Now, clock shows 8:20 left to play in the third quarter. The Spartans are leading at 21-0, putting 21 points on the scoreboard in the first half. 2nd and short for CHS. Need a yard for the first down. A handoff to Driggs, and he's got the first down. He's down to about the 36-yard line. He picks up about 3 yards, and CHS will continue this drive at the 36 of East Central.
Just a power run that time by Driggs. He just took the ball right off tackle that time, bowled ahead like he's been doing most of the night, and just got the good yardage for Connersville, and they keep the drive alive.
Now, Connersville has had the ball now in 5 possessions in this ball game. They've scored 3 out of 5 times, and let's see if they can make it 4 out of 6. 1st and 10 from the Trojan 36-yard line. Lynch looking over the Trojan defense. Works it through to Trent Smith, who fumbles the football, and I believe he was able to recover his own fumble and still pick up some yardage.
Well, those are the kind of fumbles that you don't mind that time, but they come very, very rarely. But
that was a pick of about 3 yards for Trent Smith.
Well, Connersville, Trent Smith's been able to make his holes. He's been able to move through the holes very, very good. He's a good explosive type of runner, and he's just able to get out. It's surprising the leg drive that he's got. He's able just to pull through those lines and break tackles.
2nd at about 7 for CHS. At about the 33-yard line of East Central. Here's Smith once again. Trent turns the corner. He's got the first down, lowers his shoulder, and gets some more inside the 10-yard line.
Once again, Trent Smith getting outside where he can kick those powerful legs and move out that time. And boy, when he's in the open field, he's just hard to handle.
And we've got a holding call against Connersville. It's going to wipe out a nice gain there by Trent Smith. The flag down at about the 19-yard line of East Central. Yeah, I believe Trent was shaken up. Work on his legs. Let's hope that's nothing too serious there for Trent Smith. 2nd and 13 for Connersville. Ball at the Trojan 29-yard line, as Justin Smith has joined the offensive backfield along with Kevin Miller and Mike Driggs. Lynch at quarterback. And, well, Lynch now checks over to the sidelines, making sure everything is copacetic. And he checks now the defense of the East Central Trojans. Fake to the fullback, handoff to Justin Smith, and Justin Smith will take it down to about the 25-yard line and pick up about 4 yards on the carry.
And not a bad way to come into the football game, to be able to carry the ball coming in that time. And a good carry that time. He just took it over the right side off tackle that time. A good safe run and got 4 yards out of it. Was hit there and tackled by about 2 East Central defenders.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and 9 now for Connersville. So an important series for CHS right now as they want to hold on to this football, keep this drive, and try to put it in the end zone for 6 more points. But 6:15 left to play, third quarter action, and Connersville leading 21-0 over East Central. 3rd and 9 from the Trojan 25. Lynch back to pass, puts it in the air, deflected and nearly caught by Kevin Miller, but a Trojan got a hand on that, made the deflection, and brings up 4th and 9, and we've got another penalty flag on the field at about the line of scrimmage.
That's a good play that time by Miller. Tipped up by the East Central defender that time. Maybe a little bit underthrown that time, but a good effort by Miller trying to go back for the football, but he just missed it that time and got herself faced with that 4th down.
Now, Connersville right now faced with another penalty, so the Trojans have a decision to make. Do they decline the penalty, take the down, and bring up 4th down, or take the penalty? They're going to take the penalty. Another hold against CHS. Well, you did say on passing plays they do tend to hold a lot more. And there it is. Another 10-yarder against CHS brings up 3rd and long. Need now about 19 for the first down back at the Trojan 36-yard line.
Well, that time it just looked like they rushed the passer. They've been getting the Lynch pretty good tonight, and to try to stop him, sometimes you're kind of tempted to just grab onto a little bit of that cloth is to try to hold your guy from getting out that time, and basically that's what happened.
Now 3rd and long. They need 19 to keep this drive going. As Connersville now working out of the I formation. Lynch looking to pass, being chased out of the pocket. He's going to run with it. He's got a little bit of room before he's brought down at the 25, 26-yard line. Lynch will pick up 10 yards, and a flag flies, and let's hope that's not something against CHS.
Well, good play that time by Lynch. Also a good play by East Central. They knew he wasn't going to be able to get it. They just surrounded him, contained him, and kept the gain to a minimum that time. And Lynch just went out of bounds there after being upended by one of the East Central players.
Well, a 10-yard gain by Lynch, and I believe the flag comes after the play, a dead ball foul, and it's against Connersville. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Unsportsmanlike conduct whistled against Connersville, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty marked off from the infraction, so Lynch gets the 10-yard gain and picks up 93 yards on 7 carries, but then we get assessed with a 15-yard penalty and brings up 4th down from the Trojan 41-yard line, and I think what the idea was that Connersville probably wanted to get a late hit call against East Central, similar to one of the first calls of the game when Lynch was assessed with a late hit penalty. And I like this. The Connersville football players are trying to hide the penalty flag that was thrown on the sidelines. And one of the officials is going to reach into his pocket, and he's going to come out empty.
And that was the third unsportsmanlike conduct call in Connersville. They had 2 last week during the Jamboree in the 4th quarter against Newcastle.
Here comes a 4th down. First time Connersville is going to punt on the night. And now we've got another flag flying, and it's going to be delay of game against CHS, which will cost them 5 more yards. And well, at least we know that one official that threw his hanky is not the one that lost his.
And it looks like that time Connersville is trying to delay the game, trying to kick it from about 5 yards back, give the punter a little bit more room to be able to place it inside the 20.
Now Connersville, Kyle Smith out there to punt. And the Trojans have 1 man back to return the punt. Smith gets it off. And it takes a Connersville bounce and is going to be downed inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 11-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will have it, 1st and 10, to begin this possession with 5:39 left to play in the 3rd quarter. So 3rd quarter is not that as productive as the first half for Connersville.
Well, they've been knocking themselves, out right now. Of course, they've got 9 penalties for 95 yards right now, and that 15-yard penalty coming right off the 10-yard penalty. So they had basically a 1st down, and instead they moved back 25 yards, and they have to punt it away. So basically right now Connersville has been shooting themselves in the foot with penalties.
Yeah, they've nearly been assessed 100 yards in that category. 5:30 to play in the 3rd. The Trojans at their 11-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. Shimmer sends 3 men out wide to the right side. He's back to pass, has some time, completes it for about a 5 or 6 yard gain. Pass completed to Harper coming out of the backfield.
Good pass in the flat that time by Shimmer. He just took the ball, threw it out there in the flat. Good play that time, just tried to swing it out there, pick about 6 or 7 yards, make it easier here on 2nd down, try to take the time off the clock and try to move on down the field. Plus, Shimmer hasn't been completing too many passes tonight, so a good pass to kind of boost his confidence as he tried to move the East Central team down the field.
Yeah, he's 2 of 9 now for 17 yards after that 7-yard pass to Harper. I formation. Maxwell now shifts over to the left side, and so does Harper, and a flag flies. Now, this one may go against the Trojans. They've been assessed with a couple procedure calls. Offsides Connersville. And now a second flag? Connersville calling for encroachment. Then, after that call was made, another flag flew. And the officials right now are talking things over about that second penalty flag, Tom.
And it might have been a neutral zone call on Connersville on the outside right now. The only thing I could think of with the second flag might have been, again, an unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody might be maybe saying something out of line.
Well, you're right about that. That could be the call. But we're going to have to figure out who it's going to go against, the offense or the defense. We know the encroachment call went against Connersville, which will result in a 1st down for East Central. Offside against Connersville, and let's get another indication. And we have a penalty against East Central that's going to nullify the penalty against Connersville, so conflicting penalties. We're just going to keep the ball where it's at and bring up 2nd and 3.
And it looked like they called on East Central an eligible man downfield that time. One of the blockers just got out on that flat pass and just went a little bit too far downfield.
All right, so we got 2nd down. Well, it was an equipment penalty against the East Central Trojans, so somebody must not have had their mouthpiece in. 2nd and about 4 for the Trojans at their 16-yard line. They try to draw it right up the middle, and not much there. The Connersville defense doing a pretty good job defending the run.
Good big red pile that time by Connersville. He just tried to run the ball right up the middle that time to the East Central runner, and he ran into about 5 or 6 red shirts that time. And Connersville just been swarming on the run that time.
You know, Poole picks up a few yards, makes it 3rd and 1 after about a 3-yard gain. So in 7 carries, Poole has picked up 34 yards. He has been the bulk of the offense for the East Central Trojans. Ball is spotted now at about the Trojan 20-yard line with 3:45 left in the 3rd, and Connersville maintaining a shutout, leading the Trojans 21-0. Here's Shirky splitting out of the backfield and lining up in the slot on the left side. And Schweer back to pass to Kickler, and Kickler makes the reception, brought down by Ronan, but a 1st down at the 25-yard line, so a pickup of about 5 yards.
And their first down of the second half there, and what caused that was that Jason Luking that time had a chance to tackle the receiver that time, but he just slipped out of his hands, gained about 3 or 4 more yards, and it finally was tackled by a Connersville defender.
Well, that brings up a 1st and 10 now at the 25-yard line of East Central with about 3 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Schimmer trying to get his offense situated on the field. A lot of motion around here. There's Kickler again, lining up as a flanker. Back to pass. This one's short and incomplete. He is now 3 out of 11 for 22 yards, and that kills the clock with 2:51 left in the 3rd and brings up 2nd and 10 from the 26 of East Central.
At that time, Schimmer just got the ball. He had a Spartan right in front of his face that time, and he couldn't see his intended receiver, and it made him throw a little bit short that time, and the receiver had no chance of picking up the ball.
The Trojans trying these short passes out to the flats, trying to get somebody in some open field and seeing if they can get some real estate that way.
They're going to have to. Right now, their running attack is not doing anything. It's not putting a dent in the Connersville defense right now. They've got to go to the short pass.
Now 2nd and 10 from the 26 of East Central. Closing minutes of the 3rd quarter. Trojans being shut out 21-0. Schimmer back to pass again. This time going long, and Lynch with the near interception. Boy, Ryan Lynch nearly picked off Schimmer's pass at the Connersville 40-yard line. Nice effort there by the junior.
And that time, they just tried to throw the ball that time long down the middle of the field.
Lynch got to catch his breath on the bench in the 1st half. After that's a 69-yard touchdown run and another run of 25 yards that gave CHS a big 1st down in the 1st half. Now the Trojans, 3rd and 10 from their 26-yard line. And this time they try to run a reverse to Harper. He's in the open field, but not enough for the 1st down as he gets it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Good containment that time by Connersville. They tried to run the end reverse that time. It looked like maybe a little bit of a misdirection play. He tried to come around that time, and Connersville sniffed it out after about a 5-yard gain. Good containment that time by the Connersville defense, especially the linebackers, to be able to get that play after about a 5-yard gain.
Well, that's going to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation again for the Trojans. Kickler back in punt formation. Dustin Flum back. He'll return the punt. Kickler gets it off, and Flum will... Oh, he touches it. You better pounce on it. He'll pick it up and get a yard.
He got lucky that time. He was able to pick up the ball. The East Central player right on top of him that time. Probably the wise play might have been to let that ball bounce, but sometimes, you get players like that, you got a 21-0 lead, and you're going to take a few more chances.
He's not going to let him bounce and roll. He's going to pick him up and run with him. That's the wild man. He's going to do that. And you want to see that aggressiveness in your players, although Coach Radke's got a few words for him as he will direct this series for CHS. Kyle Smith will come into play at tight end, the other tight end for CHS on this series. And we'll Get the program turned around. That's E.J. Sladek. Now, everybody's ready now. 1st and 10 for CHS at about their own 33-yard line. Here is the handoff to Justin Smith. He fumbles the football, and the Trojans have it. And the Trojans are going to take it 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line as the Trojan defender. And we don't have a 79, do we? All right.
Well, the unknown Trojan defender, that's how the East Central defender that time just took the ball. And that time, you know, he just went backwards, though. The thing is, he picked up the ball about 15 yards from where he was finally tackled with it. Just went backward on that play.
Well, Justin Smith picked up about 4 yards on the carry before fumbling the football. The Trojans now will have it 1st and 10 at their 46-yard line with 1:25 to play here in the third quarter. So East Central got the football back real quickly, and they have a new quarterback, and no, Schweer's still in there. And he'll complete a pass. Oh, incomplete. Kevin Miller put on the hit there to jar the ball loose and force the incompleted pass.
And that time, a good hit that time by Kevin Miller. That's a good play. On the wide receiver, you're supposed to be taught to be able to get the ball and look it all the way into you and expect the hit that's coming. But that time, he just got the hit before he got possession of the ball and just separated wide receiver and ball that time.
Schmier now 3 of 12 for 22 yards. 2nd and 10 now for the Trojans at their 47-yard line with 1:10 left to play here in the third quarter.
Kevin Miller.
Work it out of the I formation. And Schmier back to pass. And this one nearly picked off as it's thrown over the heads of the tight end, Randy Maxwell. And Connersville nearly came up with an interception.
And that time Maxwell was the intended receiver. Also behind him was Mike Kickler there. And it just went through his hands that time, and it's almost intercepted there by Lynch. But Kickler also had a shot at that ball. It's just tipped up in the air, and that time it was just, fair play, free ball. Anybody who gets it, gets it basically.
Brings up 3rd and 10 now for the Trojans at their 47-yard line with 1:06 left to play in the third quarter, and the Trojans trailing by 21 points, still trying to find their way into the end zone. Schmier escapes a near sack and has his pass picked off by Ryan Lynch. Lynch on the interception returns it to the Connersville 39-yard line. And with 56 seconds left to play in the third, Connersville's got their hands on the football once again.
And a good interception that time by Lynch. That tried Schimmer tried to throw the ball, and he just overthrew his receiver. Lynch was just standing there right behind the receiver, picked up the ball and brought it back about 7 or 8 yards that time. He looked like he wanted to try to break through a tackle, but that time just brought the ball out of bounds. Connersville's got it once again, and Lynch, the man who made the interception, looks like he's going to be running the team again.
Well, Connersville 1st and 10 with the ball now at their 43-yard line. We got a flag on the play? We got a flag, a clip against Connersville, and it won't be at their 43-yard line. It's going to be way back. Take it back to the 25-yard line where the Spartans will take it 1st and 10. Another 15-yarder assessed against CHS.
110 yards of penalties on 110 yards on 10 penalties against Connersville. But that was on the run back that time. That was not on the play, so the interception will stand, and Connersville will have the football.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 from the Spartan 25-yard line instead of from their 43-yard line. Now, we may just see final play here of the third quarter as the handoff goes to the fullback, and Driggs will take the football for about a 5-yard gain, maybe 6, as he crosses the 30. Brings up 2nd at about 5.
And that time, Driggs, first man through, just gets the ball plowed right at the middle of that time. Good hole opened up inside the Connersville line. He picks up 6 yards.
They'll call it 2nd and 5 with about 20 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. This will probably be the final play of the third period, barring any penalties. Lynch looking over the defense. Will take the snap. He'll keep it himself as he turns the corner on the left side. He's got a little bit of running room, and he's got the first down. He's still on his feet. He's got a man to beat. He puts on another nifty move and is finally brought down at the 25-yard line of East Central.
Injured leg? What injured leg?
A 45-yard run by Ryan Lynch at the end of 3 quarters on FM 100 WCNB. The Spartans lead. It's 8 carries, 138 yards, and 1 touchdown. The touchdown, a 69-yard run. And that on a gimpy leg. Now Scott Crank is in there at quarterback.
Well, maybe you faked the injury.
Well, Scott Crank will get his chance here at the Trojan 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for CHS. Some movement on the line, and Spartans may have drawn the Trojans offsides. Offsides, the call against East Central. The 1st and 5 now for Connersville from the Trojan 20-yard line.
And that is the first penalty, I believe, of the evening that the Spartans have accepted that East Central has had against them. Other than the offsetting penalty, of course, in the 3rd quarter.
So Connersville now at the Trojan 20-yard line. And that occurred without taking any time off the clock here in the 4th quarter. I know Coach Radke would love to see that clock just run here in this 4th quarter.
21-0 Connersville right now. They're up by 3 touchdowns, and they just got to keep the ball consumed on the drive.
Now the handoff to Kevin Miller. Miller turns the corner and is knocked out at about the 1-yard line, nearly in the end zone. Kevin's trying to say, I broke the plane, but the official's going to say, no, you're down about the 1.
Well, it looked like that time he was just stretching and dipping to try to break the plane of the end zone that time, but the East Central defender getting it out of bounds. It looked like about the half-yard line that time, and Connersville getting the ball right now. Good chance to get it in the end zone. 4 plays to get it in. Good run by Miller.
Now a 19-yard pickup by Kevin Miller. 1st and goal for CHS. 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line. As Connersville comes up to the line of scrimmage. 21-0 CHS here in the 4th quarter over East Central. Kevin Miller with a handoff. He dives. He's in there. First touchdown of the season for Kevin Miller. 4th touchdown for CHS. Makes it 27-zip with 11:46 left to play here in the 4th quarter as we wait for the conversion try.
Good play that time by Miller. Just took it right up the middle that time. Good blocking by the Connersville line, going through what has to be now a very demoralized East Central team. And Miller just took it right up the middle that time and plunged into the end zone.
Well, Kyle Smith is getting set to split the uprights, trying to tack on the 28th point of the night.
Optimism.
And Kyle's got a good leg. So Smith attempting the extra point. Dustin Flum will hold for him. The snap, the place, the kick. It's good. With 11:46 left to play in the ball game from Spartan Field on FM 100 WCNB. Connersville leading East Central 28-0.
Bill Fisher, Culligan dealer, talks about conditioned water.
Conditioned water is really a wonderful thing. People that have it wonder what they ever did without it. A Culligan water conditioner helps save your plumbing, hot water heater, and dishwasher.
The end zone, if they're going to get through right now, they've just got to do it on instinct and guts.
Justin Smith will be kicking off for the Connersville Spartans. The Trojans with their return team set up. We'll see if they try some razzle-dazzle here. And Justin Smith puts his foot into it. The Trojans with a straight return. They try to return it right up the middle. Connersville with some good pursuit. And the Trojans will take it 1st and 10 at about their 27-yard line. So the Connersville defense has to be feeling pretty good at this point without giving up any scores to East Central. And now the pride is sitting there saying, let's not let them get in the end zone tonight.
Well, we'll have to find out what happens. Probably you'll see a lot of different substitutions coming into the game for Connersville, and probably some new, fresh legs, and we'll see what happens right now. Let's see if this group can keep them out of the end zone.
Now the Spartan first-string defense still out there, and I imagine you're going to see them out there for quite some time until there's only a few seconds left in the truth. When the night began, yeah, but now it's not too bad. Now the Trojans 1st and 10 at about their 27-yard line. They're trailing 28-0 here in the 4th quarter. Schmier back to pass, incomplete. Over the stretched hands of Kickler.
That time he tried to hit Kickler. He just threw it behind him that time. Kickler made his move, and looks like tonight that Shimmer is throwing his passes basically behind his intended receivers, and he'll probably get that down as they get more timing between wide receiver and quarterback. So later in the season, you'll see those passes completed.
He's had a lot of practice tonight, 3 out of 15 for 22 yards and 1 interception. And it's 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at their 27-yard line. Shamir, I formation. Now they break the I. Go over to a slot left. And he's back to pass once again. Over the middle, picked off. Kevin Miller with the interception. He'll return it down to the 20, to the 10. He's knocked off his feet inside the 10-yard line as he goes out at about the 9-yard line. The 2nd interception of the night for Connersville. The 1st theft for Kevin Miller.
And a good play that time by Miller. He just jumped up in the air, picked up all off. A little bit of a bad pass that time by Shemmer, just threw it right to Miller. Miller takes it and all the way down the field. And if he would beat that one guy that tackled him that time, he's in the end zone for 6.
Now the Spartans again will send Ryan Lynch out there with Connersville now 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, leading 28-0 with still 11 minutes left to play in this game. Trying to put a few more points on the board. This has really got to pump these kids up as they get into Olympic Conference play next week. Handoff. That's Jerry Maples. That's Jerry Maples, number 66. They had him lined up in the backfield. He goes in for a 9-yard touchdown. However, we do have a flag, the infamous flag on the play.
How many times have we seen that yellow thing down on the field tonight? What, this is the 11th penalty if it's against Connersville.
Number 68, Darryl Moorhead on the right.
That's good, East Central.
Well, touchdown stands.
Look, like I said, that's what's my conduct against East Central.
And I believe that was Jerry Maples.
Conduct against East Central after the touchdown.
So with 10:47 to play in the 4th quarter, a 9-yard run by Maples. And Connersville now with a 34-0 lead.
Correction on the run, number 66, Jerry Maples.
And Kyle Smith trying to split the uprights one more time. Kick is up. Indication is it is good. So the Connersville Spartans now with a 35-0 lead over the East Central Trojans with still 10:47 left to play in this football game. And I don't think I've heard the band play this much in a number of seasons for CHS.
What a good game for CHS to get started. Going up to Huntington North next week to start the Olympic Conference. They needed a game like this to really be able to get the confidence up that they can win, and they can win by a large margin. Like we said, they scored the first.
As Kevin Miller now in 6 carries has picked up 56
If you help me load this air conditioner in my car, which he did. Unfortunately, the car had been towed, so the poor guy had to carry the thing 16 blocks to my house. I guess life is good, and it only gets better at McDonald's today.
McDonald's regular hamburger, 59 cents. Cheeseburger, 69 cents. And chicken fajitas, 99 cents for a limited time based on independent operator participation.
3:44 to play here in this game as the Spartans get set. The Trojans are drawn offside, so it brings up a 1st and 5 for Connersville at the Trojan 36-yard line. Spartans leading at 35-0. Scott Crank quarterbacking in this series for CHS. And he'll hand it off again to the last man through the hole. That's Kevin Miller. And Kevin dives over the 35-yard line down to about the 33-yard line, picks up a few more yards.
That time a good play by East Central, just shrugging off the 2 lead defenders coming through, the 2 lead runners coming through the hole and just picking off the 3rd guy coming through. And they haven't done it that much tonight, but that time it was very impressive on the stop by East Central.
And it brings up 2nd and 2 for Connersville at the Trojan 33-yard line. Frank again will go to Miller, and Miller squirts through a hole, keeps his balance, and he's got a 1st down for Connersville inside the 30 down to near the 25-yard line of East Central.
That time he broke a tackle. Looked like near the line of scrimmage, maybe about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. You broke a tackle there, kept on shrugging, and took the ball about, I'd say, 6 or 7 more yards upfield before he finally gained tackled by about 6 or 7 East Central players.
8 more yards for Kevin Miller, 8 carries, 67 yards. And we've got 2 minutes and 49 seconds left to play in this game, so the Connersville offense is doing just what Coach Radke would like them to do. They're trying to eat up the final 6 minutes and 15 seconds of this game. Well, they brought the clock down to less than 2.5 minutes. Frank once again will hand off to Dustin Flum. Flum will pick up some yardage. He stays on his feet inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line.
Good misdirection that time out of the power I set for Connersville. Gets it to the second guy through Flum, who takes the ball across out of that misdirection play over to the right side. Picks up some good yardage over there off of a good hole by Connersville.
About a 7-yard pickup there for Dustin Flum, bringing up 2nd and 3 for Connersville inside the Trojan 20-yard line. Connersville leading at 35-0 over the Trojans in the final minutes of play here in the opening game of the 1991 season. Here's Scott Crank on the keeper. Then he pitches over to Miller. Miller stays on his feet and then finally is driven out of bounds as they get it down near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they got it about the 9 or the 10-yard line that time. Good option play that time by Crank. He just pitched it out that time to Miller, but good defense that time by East Central to be able to sniff that play out and take away after about a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Now that's going to bring up a 1st and goal for Connersville.
Flag on the play again.
Yeah, we do. You're right. We do have a flag on the play, and we'll see if we nullify the yardage by CHS.
Looks like that one, though, was after the play, so it's got to be, something. It looks like now they're talking to the bench of CHS. We'll find out what happens.
Well, that we will, as the Connersville offensive unit is backtracking right now.
Common sight tonight.
Penalty's really been the only sore spot against CHS.
Looks like a 5-yard mark off.
And that will spot the ball back to about the
Once again, here is your winning number for the
18-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and goal.
They got a 10-yard mark off.
Yeah.
5, 1, 4.
So that was a dead ball penalty.
9, 8, 5, 1, 4, 6.
It'll be 1st and goal now for Connersville from about the 19-yard line.
Pick up your total bar at the west concession stand.
I think the official right now is kind of get things settled here with 1:52 left to play in this ball game. Well, now they're, I don't know whether they're telling Coach Radke it's also a loss. I believe it's a loss of down also.
Do you know what the call was?
Okay, so it was probably an illegal forward pass.
Okay.
As Crank was on the option and then flipped it over to Miller, perhaps that he felt that Miller was in front of Crank.
Yeah, right. Okay. In other words, you can't throw it forward after you
it's
pass
crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That's why it's an illegal forward pass.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, so that's why we got a loss of down on that one. It's brought back to the 19-yard line. And it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 19. And Connersville is going to call a timeout after all this
distance, and you get 4 plays to take it in the end zone, and basically that's about what you got here.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing arena football, though. So let's see what Scott Crank can do as he directs this drive. Gives it over to Kevin Miller, and Miller tries to go for the right side and picks up a little bit of yardage as he crosses the 15 down to about the 14 and picks up about 5 yards.
Good run that time by Miller. He just took the ball right up the middle and put it right into the defense. They've been plowing through the defense all night long, and basically they've been doing the same thing again on tackle.
Now that'll bring up 3rd down. Well, actually, we'll make that 3rd and 6. That last penalty was a loss of down, and after all that discussion by the officials, they determined, no, it was not 2nd and goal. It's now 3rd and 6 for CHS. They got to get down about the 8-yard line to get a 1st down. Again, the pitch to Miller, but we got a flag in the offensive backfield, and that's going to cost Connersville some yardage the other way.
It looks like another hold again, probably in the area of of an offensive holding call and probably go back 10 more.
And Coach Radke a little bit disgusted with all the penalties. He's saying, gosh, guys, 1:07 left to play in this game. We get a nice hole opened up. Come on, quit holding. Because really, you've got the bulk of the starters still out there.
And it's just more sloppiness, of course. 35-0 lead, that's going to give a little bit of that. You're not going to be as sharp as you were when the game was maybe 7-0 or 14-0.
Well, that was a procedure call against Connersville. That's going to cost them 5 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd and 9 now from about the 19-yard line.
3rd down and 10.
So it looks like we're back from scratch. You get 3rd down and 10. Try to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, the most important thing, we got less than a minute left in this game with a 35-0 lead. So probably time for 2 plays. Crank will pitch it to Kevin Miller. Miller, a little bit of running room down to the 15-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards.
No forward pass that time, just a nice little pitch back to Miller. And the East Central defense was waiting for him that time. They've been seeing him come around that end so much this time. They finally got out there and got good pursuit on Connersville and stopped Miller after a short gain.
Well, that brings up 4th down, but the clock is running with about 20 seconds left to play in this ball game. And the Spartans can start celebrating. They've picked up a victory here.
And a good victory it was. Everything went for them with the exception of the penalties, which are going to have to cut down right now. 11 penalties for 110 yards, and that's it.
Now the clock shows no time left. And the Connersville Spartans have a successful opening night here against the East Central Trojans. As Connersville goes to 1-0 on the season and knocks off the Trojans. Our final score, 35-0. We'll have more in just a moment.
Excuse me.
Yes?
When you think of Farm Bureau Insurance, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Good coverage and fast claim service.
Sir?
I think about Farm Bureau's terrific new client service, designed to review all our insurance policies.
And what about you, ma'am?
I think about Jerry Chapman.
Jerry Chapman?
He's our Farm Bureau insurance agent.
For the name of the Farm Bureau insurance agent in your hometown, call 1-800-FARM-BUREAU.
In Fayette County, call 825.
Close as I can get. Yeah. Are we done?